Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Jamie and Marcus here.
Welcome to Test of Time.
Love, passion, and hustle in the restaurant business.
Yep, we've been in the restaurant industry for 20 years. We opened in 2003.
We've been in the restaurant business longer than 20 years, but we've had our own restaurant for 20 years. So you've been in the restaurant business for a very long time.
So we want to share with you our love, passion, and hustle.
Yes.
How we've turned our restaurant around, and how we help others and all that kind of stuff. So episode number 25.
It's really important for us to help other people. We help you grow. We help you learn. Don't make the mistakes that we have made in the past, because there are tons of them. And we want you to build your business and be successful and build an empire and be great at what you do.
But the most important thing is love your restaurant.
Love what you do. Love your restaurant.
This is an amazing industry,
Great people, great staff, great distributors, great relationship building. It really is awesome. And you could do wonders. You could do so many different things.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. So love your restaurant.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are in a rut where they do not love their restaurant and they can't wait to get out, and they're burnt out and they don't trust anybody and they don't delegate and they work too hard and they don't feel like they're catching up. And those are the people we want to get to. Those are the people we want to share.
We work too hard, but we love what we do.
Well, we work hard. We work hard.
We love what we do.
We work hard.
We play hard.
Play often.
Often.
Play often.
Yes.
We definitely play often. We travel a lot. People say, how do you travel so much? How do you travel so much? I don't know any other restaurateur that travels as much as you guys do for hands-on operators. There's a lot of restaurateurs that are not hands-on operators.
That travel a lot.
That travel a lot, but we're hands-on operators. And people are like, who's running your restaurant today? You must be closed. No,
we're open.
They're going to be making money.
And we are traveling and bringing people on trips with us and building more and more relationships with more and more people. So.
There was one restaurant in our semi-local area, half an hour from us, that the staff never knew if they were working because the owner had a gambling problem. He would just go leave and gamble for a week.
Oh, gosh.
And just leave. And they're like, we don't know if we're open this week. I don't feel like working. I feel like going here, taking vacation. I feel like going to Las Vegas. I feel like going to Atlantic City. And you can't run a restaurant if you don't provide consistency for your team members, for your staff. The bottom line is,
and consistency for your guests.
Yes, guests
right?
Too.
Because if a guest shows up and you're locked down and you're closed because you're away on vacation, they're going to be confused and not know for next time. So you've got to have consistency for your staff. You've got to have consistency for your guests, and for yourself as well. Like we know we're open 5 days a week. We're closed 2 days. Our staff has off those 2 days.
Yep.
We know that, and it works really well. Not every place is like that. I mean, a lot of places are open 7 days a week. And you're busy and you're in a busier place. And so that works for you, but know what you're open. I can't stand when we go to a place,
a guessing game.
And we've been to places many times where we walk in. Just recently, their sign says open outside. Yep. We walk in and they said, we said, we just want a drink. The bar's closed already. Well, what time do you close? Well, we closed at 9:45 tonight, but we actually closed the doors at 10 o'clock. Then turn off your open sign.
Turn them off.
Because it was a brand new place. And we just happened to walk in. We were like, let's check out what they're doing here. And you know what? It's hard for us to go back there because I'm not going to go back there. I'm not going to make a trip there and them not be open.
Exactly. And the way we were greeted and the whole thing went down.
The whole thing, which is going to lead us into what we're going to talk about
customer
today.
service.
Customer service, hospitality, being there, that kind of stuff. But, we've also been to places that we've taken Ubers to, walked in the door, and they've closed early because they weren't busy that night.
Right.
You've got to have consistency. And we tell that story quite a bit.
Yep. So their Yelp page or Google page or business listings, they're open. And we get there.
And it was really only like 8 o'clock at night. And they were like, oh yeah, we've been slow. So we're closing down early.
An hour early.
We were like, okay.
Wow.
Well, you just lost our money, right?
Lost our money forever.
Right.
We won't go back.
No.
I will not go back in situations like that. And this place was in Arizona, Tempe or something.
Yeah, it's in a big place.
Yeah. So,
and there's other restaurants around. There were a lot of restaurants around, and we literally Ubered there. We got there. and we had to go find another place to go. So it
Yeah.
was a little frustrating. And so as a consumer at that point, that was really frustrating for us, not to have that consistency of the restaurant. So, if you own a restaurant, any business of that sort, please make sure you have consistency on your hours. I know, in New York, the liquor authority likes you to post your hours.
Right. So that's a good point. So you made a very good point. So in the state of New York, I'm sure other states are like this. If we say we're open until 11 p.m., we have to register that with the liquor authority. With the liquor authority, if we stay open until 12 o'clock, we're in violation of what we registered. If we're serving that late, if we close early because we just feel like closing early that night and we're closing at 8:30 instead of 10 and didn't notify the liquor authority, we're in violation to the liquor authority of our posted hours, which is why in New York, every place has different last calls. We close at 11. And this is for a lot of states. We close at 1, but in New York State, you're legally allowed to serve till 4 a.m. So, but once you post the liquor authority, even if you close an extra day, it's a winter time. We're closed 5 days instead of 3, instead of 6. Post it with the liquor authority. They need to know what's going on. They want to know. It's just that whole control thing.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway,
but the real deal is your customer service,
hospitality and customer
So
service.
we walk into this place, it's 15 minutes to closing time for them to 10 o'clock. It's a quarter. We just want to drink, check out the bar. They say they're closed. I say, well, I need to go to the bathroom. Can I use the restroom? They send me away. And as I'm walking, I say to you, check out their menu for next time. Right.
So I'm just looking at their menu.
And I said it loud.
Yeah.
I thought she would have heard.
Yep. So I'm just looking at the menu and she turns around and she goes, well, our kitchen is closed too. And I said, I'm just looking for next time, so the way she approached me was, how she should have approached me was, our kitchen is closed right now, but let me show you the menu. Let me guide you to it. Let me point to the most popular things. Why don't you come back, next time you're in the area? We'd love to serve you.
Yeah, is this your first time in? Oh, we haven't been here before.
It was really frustrating. And she screamed that across the bar. And there were people sitting at the bar.
There were.
And there were people sitting and eating.
Yeah.
And so it was a little frustrating. It was like they didn't want to take any more time out of their night to help a customer coming in. And that was frustrating.
No, so
really frustrating.
The big thing I've been explaining to our staff lately is if somebody walks in and orders a cognac and over the course of 3 separate times, a week in a row, and they get a different staff member every single time, they're going to get the same cognac. They're going to enjoy the cognac. But what was the process of ordering
the experience of the cognac,
right,
getting the cognac?
First time they order the cognac, the person behind the bar tells them the story about the cognac, tells them the allure of it, all this, and they fall in love with it. The next time somebody comes in, the same person comes in and a different staff member can't find that cognac, and it's our best-selling cognac, can't find it, takes 10 more minutes. The person still gets a good cognac, what they got the first time, but the lead up to getting it was difficult. And they come in the third time, and now
it's in a different glass.
It's in a different glass.
And the staff member still can't find it. And,
the customer still gets the cognac that they liked and they love and they adore, but it's 3 different experiences. So just recently we were in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
We sit at a bar.
Oh, yeah.
And we started talking to the bartender, and it was really weird.
So we were looking for something that was local, something that we've never had before.
You're in Tennessee, it's bourbon country.
But see here, in his defense a little bit, he doesn't know what we've had and what we haven't had. And he honestly doesn't probably even know what's big brand and what's small brand. Right. So which leads into
the first question we asked him was, what is local? What is local? We're here visiting from New York once. We said, well, he would look at us, start talking to us, and then what would happen?
He would walk away, but
right in the middle of the sentence.
He didn't know what was local, number one, because he recommended Knob Creek and he recommended some big brands, right? Which are,
and I'm like, no, that's like Kentucky. I want something local here, within like an hour of here, because I know there's distilleries here.
Right.
Like, what's here? And he would just
start talking and then just walk away. And then we'd be sitting there and then he'd come back, he'd start doing something and then start talking to us again. And then he'd do the same thing. And he did it like 3 times. Right?
He was obviously helping people in the dining room. So he'd come back and he'd like start doing something.
But he should have made a comment like, give me a minute. Let me just take care of a few things in the dining room. I'll be right back because I want to spend some time with you and I want to give you the details that you're looking for, or, show you a few things, or finally towards the end, he did pull down a few things and he did show us a couple of things, right?
If it was my staff, my team, I would have suggested that they pull the bottles down first, give them to them, take a look at these.
But they might not be allowed to do that in Tennessee.
Maybe not.
They might not be allowed to leave them on the
I have to make a couple of drinks. I'll be right back.
I bet that's the case. They're probably
But he
not.
did leave them though at the bar. He did leave them for us at one point.
Yeah, he left it for you to look at because you asked to look at it.
I asked to
You
look
said,
at it.
"Can I look at the
I always ask to look at the bottles.
So, but there might be certain laws and there might be certain restrictions from their staff, from their owners or the managers, stuff like that. You know, they don't know us from the hole in the wall, right? So, not that I'm giving him, you know, whatever. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that there probably are certain restrictions by their managers or whatnot. But you know, he should have taken a little bit more time and spent a little bit more time with us at the beginning, which would have made it a better experience for us. Which that was our second time there. The first time we sat at a table. Second time, this was our second time, and we actually sat at the bar. So
right, we're by ourselves.
But the last time we were there, we asked for stuff too, sitting at a table, and they didn't really know what the stuff was either. So you know, maybe just training them a little bit better. So
product knowledge. Like it's like if you're a car salesperson, you should know the buttons and the features in these cars.
Right.
A customer should not have to tell you what's in the car.
Right.
A customer might have had a previous car and knows about it and say, hey, is the button still here? Does it still do this? Does we still have heated seats?
That's your job, right? So
that's your job.
Your job is to know certain things above and beyond just taking an order or saying hello. So you know, it's your job to go above and beyond. You're not going to go fix a plane, right, without knowing what the parts and the pieces are. And then, you know, just trust that the pilot's going to know how to fly the plane, right?
Talk about being an order taker versus customer service. This is so important.
Yeah, I mean, I find this really important too, and it's tricky. You know, it's really tricky. You've got to train. But you know, going to a table and you know they have menus in their hand, and what can I get you? What can I get you? What can I get you? And they go this, and this is just taking an order. Knowing what's on the menu when somebody asks you a specific question, like where does your shrimp come from? Or what have you had before? Or what do you highly recommend?
What are you famous for?
What are you famous for? You need to know those answers. That is your job. You're not just there to get a paycheck. You're not just there to take an order. You're there because you're giving an experience to the guest that's sitting at the table. And, you know, sometimes you know, even in our staff, you know, you have somebody new, we try really hard to train them over and over and over again and quiz them. And what did you learn tonight? And what did you ask tonight in the kitchen? And what, you know, we're constantly asking. And, you know, sometimes they probably think we're control freaks because we're trying to control it to a point where we give them the answers so that they know, they know the answers to what they get for, you know, a script, but it's so important not to be an order taker and to be a salesperson. I mean, that's what I tell our staff all the time. You are a salesperson, from the water to the food, to the dessert, to saying hello and goodbye. You are a salesperson. You are selling the business to get them to want to come back over and over again. The food could be great. The service could be so-so, right? Someone might not come back because that service wasn't okay.
Someone might not come back. There's so many moving parts in this industry. You have to train. We had a situation just here recently where a guest complained it was too cold in the dining room because the vent was pointed down on her. One of our staff members shut off all the air conditioning in the restaurant. And I was there and I didn't hear this go down, but all of a sudden I'm there. I'm like, it is hot in this restaurant. And I was explaining that, that table complained. I'm like, so the ACs are off. Yeah, I turned the ACs off because they complained.
Oh, you got to tilt them up, tilt them down, turn off the fan. Let's try to find something that makes her comfortable, but makes everybody else comfortable as well.
But the thing is, you have to train on stuff like this.
You
now I know that so now I know I have to spend time and create a video to train. What if obviously everybody in the dining room would have suffered last night because one person had a vent on them.
Mhm.
So I explained to the team member, move the vent, explain to the people that you're moving the vent to get it off of them,
The circulation.
the circulation.
Yeah.
Explain to them that you can't turn off the AC because
It will get really hot.
it'll get really
quickly.
hot, the kitchen, everything, and everybody in here will suffer. Can I move the table for you? Can I find a space that's not as cold? And this stuff you have to train on. Because if you
Because
don't
one
train,
little tweak, one little thing, right, that they say wrong to a guest will upset them. I had a table walk out the other night. I had a table walk out. They wanted another table. They got here at, it was right before our rush. They sat down at a table. It was two people. They sat at a 4-top, really. They wanted a larger table. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't have anything. And he goes, well, you're not busy. Why can't we move? And I said, give it a half an hour. We're going to be extremely busy. And he goes, well, we'll be gone in a half an hour. And I was like, you won't be gone in a half an hour. And I can't give up that table. I'm sorry. And he started rambling under his breath, being rude. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't make you happy. I don't even remember what I said because I was so upset. The guy was mumbling under his breath. Oh, I can't believe you can't do that, and he's uncomfortable and he's sitting here. And I'm like, and no table in our restaurant is uncomfortable. You might not like the table, but that's what I have for you. I'm sorry. Like, that's what I have. I can move you to a smaller table, but I gave you this larger table. And he was mumbling under his breath and he said something. And I said, I'm sorry, you're just not going to be happy here. Yep. And he got up and he left and he was pissed. But you know what? I will never make him happy.
Right.
And I knew that I will never make him happy. Now, I don't want my staff doing that, but I can do that. I'm not going to let him be rude. He was super rude to me. And it's everything from that moment. He would have been rude.
Yep.
He would have been rude to our staff. He just would have been rude. He was that type of a guy. And so I felt bad. I apologized to the son, and the son just said, basically it's okay. He knew. It was kind of like the son knew, like that's the way his father behaves. And that is not okay.
Not okay.
Not okay. No. So, customer service can go both ways. You're a guest. You need to be respectful of the staff. And he didn't know that I was the owner. I mean, I was waiting for a phone call. I was waiting for something. He didn't know I was the owner.
Isn't that great when we get an email message or something?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have a problem. But I was there, and this staff member,
and it was me or you or
this staff, this and this, and they exaggerate the situation.
Yeah, always, yeah.
And you're like, well, that was me, and that's not what happened.
Right,
like,
there's always two sides. And as a server, owner, whatever, you deserve the respect just as much as they deserve the respect. Just because you're going out to eat doesn't mean that you can be rude and disrespectful.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
It goes both ways. But back to hospitality. Hospitality is important. And training your staff is important. But please take that time to train your staff.
Train. Yeah. And have somebody follow up. You train all different sorts of ways.
Yep.
So yeah. Yep. So, and here's the point I want to make of this whole situation. Like the other night as well, I was serving wine. And five out of 6 people got wine out of the bottle. One person ordered a glass of white wine. I was serving red. And she looked at me and she goes, well, where's my wine at? I'm only the Smythe. I'm the only person doing the wine service. I didn't take the order. So I'm like, oh, I'll get it for you right away. Right. Then I go talk to the server. I'm like, she needs her wine. And he's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, 2-3 minutes later, I'm like, well, where's her wine? He's like, well, I'm getting it for her. I'm like, you don't understand. To her, it's 100% of her experience right now. 5 out of 6 people have it. She doesn't have wine. Everyone wants to cheers. They're all together. And
it happened the other night at a table.
And then all of a sudden, those server starts doing another task. I'm like, you've got to stop what you're doing right now. The most important thing is to get that wine. It's going to take you 15 seconds. Go grab the glass to it and get it on the table and get it to her. That's the most important thing right now, because you're ruining her experience right now, because she can't drink with everybody else. You have to prioritize things. And I thought it would have been taken care of the first time, but it wasn't. And then the second time there, I'm again explaining in detail, like, this is how the customer feels. She can't feel like that, else your tip is going to suffer. It's our service is going to suffer.
And they might not come back. It's all around service. Right. So,
and we made up for it. I did another bottle of wine service with them. They were happy. It was great. But these are things you have to train.
Constant.
Because now that's the person who's going to have the bad experience. And
But there's
then
a
they'll
lot,
share.
there's a lot of turnover in this industry as well. And so, you've got to find people that work for you that are going to go above and beyond,
And respect.
and
Respect and make common sense decisions.
Yep.
All right, that's it.
All right.
Episode number 25. 25.
25.
Customer service.
Absolutely.
It's just
Super
so
important.
important. One of the things I like to do is I like to ask our team members on our calls, explain to me the last restaurant you went to, good
your
service and
experience.
bad service,
Yeah.
and share that with everybody so we can all get a picture
Yeah.
of what's going on.
All right. Thank you very much.
The funny thing is, they say, the funny thing is they say, well, we would never do that in our restaurant, right? We would never do that here, right? But things just happen.
They do. They just happen. Thanks for watching Test of Time, Love, Passion, and Hustle in the Restaurant Business. If you want more tips,
Restaurant Growth Secrets University.com. 50 Mistakes. The book 50 Mistakes that Business Owners Make is available there for free. Just pay a couple bucks for shipping and handling, and that link is there. Then our new book is there. Everybody Still Has to Eat. It talks about our success during the pandemic and how we crushed it, and hope to see you soon.